Well, obviously, everybody had your kids, had your wife, and had your husbands too, because they raping everybody around here. My name is Antoine Dodson, and people are familiar with me from Bed Intruder, a news interview that went viral in 2010 of July with my sister being attacked in the middle of the night. The Bed Intruder meme, basically, when that happened to my sister in 2010, I did the interview. I was upset at the beginning of it. I hated the fact that the video went viral. The night of Bed Intruder, I ended up falling asleep on my sister's couch. The next thing I heard was a bunch of screaming and hollering. And I'm like, Kelly, you good or whatever? What's going on in there? You know, I'm nosy. She was like, is somebody in here, something? And all I remember is just busting the door open, and I remember seeing an image and like silhouette over my sister. I remember seeing her knees and somebody on top of her in silhouette. And it seemed like he was choking the life out of her. So what I did was took my hands and dug into his shoulder, swung him and threw him into the hallway onto the floor. Well, he did some type of basketball move under my arm. You know, I'm like 6'4", you know, he was like 5'9", so you know, of course I couldn't get that low. He did a little spin up under my arm and went into the kitchen. Now, I'm freaking out in my spirit. I'm thinking like, he's finna go get a weapon, because remind you, we on the second story. So, oh my God, it was one of the worst feelings in the world. So they came and the police escorted us off. I couldn't go to sleep. So this was during the Yellow Pages days. So I'm in the Yellow Pages looking for potential investigators to help, because I just knew I had his DNA under my nails, for one. He ended up leaving his shirt. I spoke to this one investigator. He was like, yeah, I'll meet you at the house. You seem very concerned and scared. I'm willing to help you. He came out, and at the time, WAFF 48 News, where I did the interview, was coming out at the same time. What made me do the interview, for one, let's start that. I had already pulled up first before the investigators came, because I was hyped that they wanted to come and really, you know, made me want to put on my detective hat. So as the camera people and investigators, they setting up doing their thing, this lady talking trash. Do you have anything you want to say to the to the camera? And I turned around and I said, yeah, I got something I want to say. Well, obviously, when you get through running your mouth, I'm gonna need you to hide your kids, hide your wife, and hide your husbands too, because they raping everybody out here. It was in response to something, to someone speaking negative against my sister. So that's how that video came about. I actually do remember where I was when Bed Intruder aired in the local city. I was at my friend's house, because that's where I went to after the attack. The news interview was on. Seeing myself on video, I was so mad. But I could see why it was funny to people, because I'm watching it grow over the hours. Like within 24 hours, it was almost at 1 million views. So I was like, oh my God, I think we kind of famous. You know, I think this video is getting a lot of attention. Then I started getting a lot of messages from a lot of people saying that they wanted to represent me. And that's when I knew that the video had went viral. Agents, it was lawyers, people hitting me up, wanting me to come and perform in their clubs and events. They wanted me to host. And I'm like, I never host nothing outside of a barbecue in the hood. Like, you know, like what kind of hosting? When I had that interview with Katie Couric and we talked about how it pretty much, you know, let the world know that something is going on, that you need to hide your kids and hide your wife. From that day forward, I knew that it was more of a blessing. I began to enjoy being a meme and stuff like that.
He's climbing in your windows, he's snatching your people up, trying to rape them, so y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife.
When Bed Intruder Song came out, I really hated that song. I really thought that they was making fun, you know, and when you out in public and you hearing people bump it in their cars, like you could just be standing somewhere and you'll hear he's climbing in your window. That was the song that I would skip over. And then later on realize it was a fire song that I skipped. That's how Bed Intruder was to me, because it had to grow on me. And it took off. And I remember them reaching out to me. It was like, hey, we got such a good response from the Bed Intruder. We want to do a whole song. If you're okay with it, we could split the proceeds. I mean, we could put it on iTunes. Oh, now you talking about Ching Ching. I said, oh, okay, now this sound good. This sound like music to my ears. And that song went gold and platinum. I felt like I was in a dream. It didn't feel, you know, real. Even though we were still going through the process of healing from that incident, I'm still out here trying to fake my smile. And, you know, because like I said, my family was not feeling this at the beginning. So I was up against a lot, because some people felt like, oh, I shouldn't be out here making money off of my sister. And then others was like, go and get your bag. You know, you're a hero. And then you got your family, and then you got a lot of times after I did my event or whatever I did, I came to the room and I stayed in the room. I didn't even get a chance a lot of times to enjoy the city that I was in because I was so conflicted. Like, should I be out here having this good ass time like this? So it took a long time to get comfortable with the song, the interview, and just overall working.
All right, Antoine, you were clearly the greatest rape fighting machine I have ever come across. We've learned all we can from this crazy lady. The world wants to know, are you ready to give it another shot?
My experience with Daniel Tosh, overall, it was cool. It was weird, I will say. But he acts just like he acts in real life. And I'm a character, but I didn't realize I wasn't a character until I met that character. That moment, it was fun because not only after that, being uncomfortable for a slight second, I ended up going back the second time, which the second time was a lot more pleasant and a lot more fun and entertaining. What I'm doing now, I'm working on the NFT. I've been trying to release this NFT for a minute. And finally, I got the rights to do so from NFT. So now we're pushing forward. I'm working on a documentary. I can't give too much details about the documentary. I've been negotiating this for the last few months. And I got my own AD beer coming out. And I get to create my own beer, my own taste, and my own liking. And we're going to sell it in restaurants and liquor stores and everything. Like, I'm just so excited about that. You know, I love a good beer every once in a while. And I'm looking for them alkies. I want people to remember me just as I am. Just how you see me on camera, that's how I am in real life. I want people to, just remember me of all the laughter and good energy and good vibe that I bring. You know, so I just appreciate everybody.